All right, welcome everybody. Airbnb launched Airbnb services where you can book a massage therapist, a chef in your home, photographer, a haircut, a hiking trip. Sounds cool, right? But in this video, I'm going to talk about all the things that a lot of people just aren't talking about, like who's responsible if somebody gets hurt. Well, let's jump into it. So exactly what did Airbnb roll out? I'm going to kind of show you, this is Airbnb services. As you can see, you can book photography in your home, a chef, personal training, spa treatments. So you can kind of search in your area. So let's just say like a chef. You can click on the chef experience, shows like where your location is at, who's offering the services, how much it is, drop meals. I think a drop meal is probably not as bad of an idea, right? And then you see Adam here, years of experience, his specialties. It's set up very much like Airbnb. It's a marketplace. And in typical Airbnb fashion, they are amazing at marketing. You can see right here, here we go. Major boost in holiday makers as Airbnb launches new services. So it's in 260 cities as of now. More and more services are getting added to it. I think you can even add your service. So if you know somebody, you can add them to it as well. The best way to describe it or think about this is just like, it's what hotels have been doing for generations. You're bringing concierge to the Airbnb experience. A lot of people that maybe haven't traveled to Airbnbs because they wanted the private chef and all that stuff, maybe it's going to open up a lot more travelers. So what are hosts saying about this? People are excited. They got a lot of questions. I asked a bunch of my friends. I even reached out to my buddy, Mark Simpson, who is awesome at updating all this kind of stuff. Let's hear what he has to say.
Hello, my name is Mark Simpson, and John has very kindly asked me for my opinion on Airbnb services. And look, listen, when they launched their brand new Airbnb back in the summer update, they had the refresh of the homepage, which were good. Experiences, good, that's fine. But services is the one that you really got to pay attention to. Because what they're basically doing is they're putting all the risk on you without you getting any benefit. So for example, let me just give a random another company. So Viator are a huge company. They do experiences, they do tours. And you can set up an affiliate with Viator. And if somebody books a tour via your affiliate link that you put on your website or wherever, you get a cutback, you get some commission on that. That's the very minimal that they should be doing. But Airbnb have gone down the route of putting all the risk on you with services to promote their private chefs, to promote their masseuses, their personal trainers, and all the other categories that they will bring into this. And the scenario is this, like, let's just say that you get a private chef come into your kitchen that you haven't got a clue who they are. So they aren't vetted by you. You can't see if they're any good or not, but somebody goes and books it, comes into your property, that private chef trips and falls, then you're liable, right? And Airbnb do have cover, yes, but it only covers you for a certain amount. There's so much more over here that they're not covering you for. And that's the worst case, right? Where you could get sued, which is not good. But also as well, let's just say that private chef cooks up a meal and is absolutely terrible. Somebody gets food poisoning on the back of it. When the guest comes to leave their review of their stay with you, they are going to mark you down for that, even if it has got nothing to do with you. And if you think, well, that's not going to happen to me. I've had guests mark us down for a review because it was raining outside, right? And we all know how important it is for your reviews on that platform on Airbnb because you really want to get that Superhost badge. Now, my advice to everybody is to opt out until it becomes a lot more clear what it's going to be. My other advice is you go and build it yourself. It's so easy to do now. But there's loads of free tools that you can help create your own version of this. But you need to opt out. Medium to long term, let's see what Airbnb do. But the only way that we are going to get their attention on it if we vote in the masses. It can't just be me talking about this. It can't just be John talking about this. It needs to be a lot of people at once doing this. At the very minimal, they should be giving you a cut. At the most, they need to be giving you more tools to be able to verify the people that are walking through your door. You'll be able to pick and choose who you want to do this. Because at the moment, it is just an idea that came up with a boardroom to generate billions of dollars of revenue for Airbnb. They haven't thought about the surface level. They haven't thought about you. Hope this helps.
I've actually done this, and I've been on a handful of podcasts where I talk about the services and concierge in an Airbnb for many years now. I've been saying this is 100% the direction you should be thinking about. I felt like I was a little bit ahead of that. I teamed up with a concierge company, and we've been doing this for the last couple of years. But I have also witnessed it firsthand when a guest books a chef, right? They write that in my review. They're like, oh, we booked a chef with John. It was amazing, 5 stars, the best food, blah, blah, blah. Right back to where it is with the Airbnb service. What if they book a chef that I have no control over and they hate it? That's 100% going to show up in my review. So of course I reached out to Proper Insurance. Why wouldn't I? I would be doing you a disservice. Reach out to Proper Insurance to ask them their take on that.
John, Airbnb's new services bring up a lot of potential for hosts, be it additional revenue by more bookings into their property by offering them, to big exposure and liability. We've gotten so many questions on this. We actually have a very extensive blog post, but I'm going to hit 2 big points right now. One, it leaves hosts in a tricky spot. Do you stay opted in and take on more reservations, but also leaving you exposed to potential bigger liability risks? Or do you opt out and potentially lose your search ranking on Airbnb? So what does this mean for you, the host? Number one, while this rolled out, there is no significant updates to Airbnb's free insurance. In fact, they even doubled down and continue to state that you need to verify that you have your own primary insurance. And they go even further to show that they may require these third-party vendors to submit proof of insurance. May being the key word. That's scary. AirCover also doesn't have protections for things like invasion of privacy and assault and battery. So if a private chef were to come into the property and get intoxicated and cause a problem with your guest, AirCover is not responding to that. Whose insurance responds? At the end of the day, it's always going to be the host. The host needs to make sure that they have the right insurance in place that is covering third-party services happening at their place. And if there is a liability situation, that they have the right protection on that insurance. So 3 key protections to make sure that you have. Number 1, coverage for third-party services being conducted at your property. Number 2, coverage for the serious liability situations that AirCover excludes, like assault and battery and invasion of privacy. And number 3, do you have the correct property protection for your building, your contents, and your loss of revenue if something causes a shutdown to your property, such as a private chef catching your kitchen on fire? These are big things to be on the lookout for if you're going to offer these new services at your property as an Airbnb host. Back to you, John.
Shout out to Proper. Below is a link. Set up a quote. Make sure you are properly insured. If you're adding all these services and you're doing all this stuff, you do not want to be underinsured. Okay, after all this, my honest take on how I feel about this. And let's be very clear. I am not against this. I'm not against Airbnb involving. I think it's very smart of Brian and Airbnb to finally get into this space. I just don't like the way they went about it. I think it could have been launched way better. And again, this is a few things where I think Airbnb just fell short. They do a really good job of taking feedback and listening, but they never reached out to any of the ambassadors about this to fine tune it. Hosts don't make any extra money doing this. Hosts are just taking all of the risks. That's one thing I feel like was left really short. They could have had a great opportunity to get more hosts involved, get some feedback, and get hosts a little bit of money for having all these extra services in their home. So for as of right now, I've been a part of Airbnb a long time. I've seen all different kinds of things launch. So this is only the first round of the services. So I'm not like fully expecting it to be perfect the first round. For now, I want Airbnb to perfect it, fine tune it. So for now, I'm gonna opt out of these services. If you're feeling the same way I am, not quite sure, then maybe you wanna opt out, and let me show you or tell you how you do this. Number 1 is you need to contact Airbnb. I would recommend not calling them. I would recommend messaging Airbnb and say that you wanna opt out of the new Airbnb services. And I just did this with Airbnb. It only took me like 5 minutes. I was going back and forth. And then she explained to me what the next step should be. And that is updating your house rules and your listing. So in your listing, you have to be very clear. We do not allow any third-party services. We do not allow the Airbnb services in here. Because at the end of the day, your job as a host, a property manager, or whatever, is to protect your guests, protect your homeowners, and protect your investment. Down below in the comments, let me know if you are opting out of this or you're gonna try it, or have you tried it and how the experience was. Please comment that, it'd be awesome. I'm really trying to learn a lot more about this, but later.